Well, there's this huge amount of misinformation about Hurricane Helene and a whole lot of like ridiculous politics. And there's some bad actors in this, but so far, Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump go find piles of rubble to stand in, and then either talk about how horrible, they're anybody's taking care of anything, or in the case of DeSantis, he stands there in the rubble and goes, "Oh, hey, we got everything handled. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go eat at Chick-fil-A." Well, that's nice. It's nice for you. Meantime, in here in the state of Florida, the coast of Florida from south of down near Sarasota all the way up to just south of us about 40 miles, and then inland where Trump stopped was at a little town called Valdosta, which is only about an hour and a half north of the Florida border. There's a river through there that's also starting to flood. I guess it's coming out of the Georgia mountains, northern Georgia mountains, and North Carolina. There's also, the Okefenokee swamps right around there too. So they're trying their best. It's trying its best to catch, as much water as possible. But these people that are going, well, how come they can send billions of dollars overseas, and they're not sending any money here to us in North Carolina? Well, that's just a giant pile of crap. There's like 5,000 people on the ground. They've only got access right now to about 20 Chinooks, which are huge helicopters that can deliver like a couple of tons worth of stuff. But that's still, I know, not enough. But this is all going to ramp up day by day by day. More and more is going to come. More and more people are going to be helping to clean it up. More and more private citizens are going to be helping. Nothing like this is cleared up and cleaned up overnight. And I've been through enough hurricanes to understand. You go to New Orleans even today, and there are places that down in the Ninth Ward and around in there that are just were never fixed. So don't hold your breath, especially in these Republican-held states that are where you have somebody like DeSantis running things. Why didn't DeSantis accept the $300 million that was, offered by the Biden administration for infrastructure projects here in Florida, cleaning drains and canals, and DeSantis wouldn't take that money because it was too damn woke money. Not taking any of that woke money. It gets to the point of being just really silly. And these people that are complaining, get off your ass and do something. I remember once after Ivan hit, a little neighborhood I lived in over in Pensacola, which I was the only Democrat on the street. Well, no, I think there were some Democrats across the street too. But basically, there wasn't. We were the minority. Everybody forgot about all that. We all got together, cleared everybody's property, and stacked it all up. Before anybody else showed up, we had our little street kind of cleaned up. We only had one chainsaw, which we all borrowed. Well, I had a chainsaw, but I didn't have any fuel for it. Didn't think about it. So when we emptied all our refrigerators. This was, we went for like 2 weeks without power there. And this is in downtown. I mean, we're an area called East Hill. I mean, it was, a mile from downtown Pensacola. The beach was destroyed. NAS, there was gusts of wind that were 185 miles an hour. And it took years. And there were people that still had green tarps on their house years later. Because they either didn't follow through. I mean, I know FEMA's a lot of red tape. And then people were complaining that, they're only the $750, that's it? Well, we didn't get anything. There was no $750 for us back in those days. I didn't have to do anything with FEMA. I had a few shingles blow off my roof, which I immediately went up and fixed. But then I know how to do that. And I'm sure people that know how to do things up in that area and all these areas are busy doing things to help and fix things instead of sitting there complaining like whiny little school children. And I really haven't seen anybody but children, more or less, complaining, whining. People my age, 60s and 70s and stuff, seen a lot of disasters. Know what to do. Do something. Shut up and do something. Anyway, we're okay here. I'm just now kind of waking up from the hurricane, just missing us. This will be the 7th day since Hellene passed us. It's probably been about 6 days for up there, or 5 days since everything really started falling apart. I don't know exactly. But I know they're hurting, as is the whole west coast of Florida and little towns all around the northern part of Florida up here near Jacksonville and in southern Georgia, going all the way up. There's all these little places that have maybe not as much damage as like being completely wiped off the planet, but pretty damn close. The difference is here in Florida, things are flat, so, and we have very sandy soil, so the water's absorbed quickly, and even when the water's still there and there's flooding, you can hop in your little, people have kayaks and all that kind of stuff and can get around a little bit. Up there, no chance. But some of the things I've seen are just amazing. There's people up there that are, having mule teams deliver food, and people that are just basically backpacking, trudging through the woods. People up there whipping out their chainsaws and opening up roads, and you know. So that's all I got to say about, it's a disaster. It's a pain in the ass for everybody. The federal government is there helping, and they're going to help. Make no mistake about it. Getting $750 right out of from the gate? Shit. I've never seen that, ever. I can remember my wife and I going to New Orleans about 6 months after Katrina, when there was a couple of places open down in the French Quarter we could stay. And from the time you hit that, Lake Pontchartrain on, never seen anything like it. It's like a nuclear bomb just went whew, for miles and miles. But then again, it was all flat. Same thing there. I mean, the water receded after a couple of days. The water's still raging up there. I don't know how many days it'll take for the water to drain out of those hills, but probably quite a few days. Although the water has gone down. We actually have friends up in Asheville, so they're not kidding when they say how bad it is up there. But Asheville will recover quickly. It's just, or quicker than a lot of places like, that are up there in the high and lonesome where people still haven't gotten to people. It's mountains. It's not flat like we are. Like where Trump was, Valdosta. That's pretty flat there in Valdosta. Anyway, our little beach towns are just destroyed. Just one little note about here in Florida, and as far as disasters go, Keaton Beach was flattened, and this little town called Steinhatchee, and these are just small little places. I mean, 300-400 people. Keaton Beach might have had a few more. Cedar Key, I think, had some more. But these were houses that were built like 16 feet up in the air on pilings. And some people say stilts, but they're pilings. And pressure treated pilings that go down in the sand 20 feet and stick out 16 feet. And then the house is built up on top of that and bolted all, hurricane proof. Those places were wiped out. There was places where there was some piling standing up, and even like the first floor, and then the rest was gone. So that doesn't usually happen. That doesn't happen in wind. That happens when water hits you. So water roared through there, 16 feet plus. And they were saying 24 feet in some places. So anyway, that's what's going on with our weather change. Isn't so much global warming, although that's the main factor, but it's evaporating so much water, and then this water is just spreading around all over the planet. We weren't the only ones who were getting rain. I think in Indonesia and China, and there was giant floods and rains going on there as well. Or we don't hear about it unless you look. Well, that's all I got to say. But all you complainers out there, stop complaining, shut up, and help. It's just that simple. Adios. And buenos dias.